Good morning, everyone. Welcome to the stream. If you're new here, my name is Brian Craig. And if you love Trump, you're going to love my channel. Those of you that are new, make sure you subscribe. And everyone who's already subscribed, make sure to like the video because that helps spread the word. Well, we got a lot to talk about today. Oh, man, do we have a lot to talk about. This, I must say, is one of the most shocking stories I have found in a long, long time. And, of course, you know, we have this new Supreme Court nominee that we're all going to be talking about. And I was going through some information on her and found something that was just shocking. Ketanji, Supreme Court Justice, because unless something incredibly scandalous comes up, she will be on the Supreme Court. Ketanji. Okay, that's an odd name for someone on the Supreme Court of the United States, but we're going to have to get used to that. Ketanji, Justice Ketanji. Sounds like more of a last name than a first name, but there was a lot out about Ketanji yesterday, including she went to Harvard. She was in drama class with Matt Damon, and she's got a relative that's locked up and everything. But there was one thing that they left out. Oh, yeah, she was a public defender out of the Harvard, and because she was a public defender, she understands what people go through and all of this. Well, there was something that they left out. Oh, yeah, there was something they left out. And this incredible family connection is not something from long ago or distant, and it's something that was left out quite on purpose. And look at this. Look at this. Oh, yeah. Biden Supreme Court nominee Ketanji, I'm never going to get this name right. Biden Supreme Court nominee Ketanji Brown Jackson and Paul Ryan are related. And this isn't like, yeah, we're family, she's related. And I'll go through this story. This is not, shocker, right? I know this was shocking to me at first. And what are the odds? What are the odds? And this isn't like eighth cousin 12 times removed, going back to the antebellum South connections. This is like today. This is like very close connections to the family of Paul Ryan. Isn't that something? You know, you got to wonder, what role did Paul Ryan play in this pick? Yeah, I know you can't make this stuff up, people. It just cannot be made up. Let's go. I know this is insane. Now, this article is in Breitbart. Yeah, that's right. Jacqueline, $50 super chat. Thank you so much, Jacqueline. Everyone, please thank Jacqueline. Jacqueline says, thank you, Brian and Kathy. Great shows this week. You make it interesting, not boring. Go MAGA. That's right. Well, thank you, Jacqueline. Everyone, please take a moment to thank Jacqueline for that $50 super chat. That is greatly appreciated. Oh, man, having some coffee. You know, I'm trying to cut back on my coffee. This is like regular Keurig coffee, my second cup. I'm trying to cut back on the espresso that I've been drinking in the mornings because it's catching up to me. Well, thank you so much, Jacqueline. If you hear some snoring, that's my dog Nina. She is sleeping at my feet. I have a standing desk here. This is, and I have my MyPillow pet bed beneath my feet, and she is sound asleep, snoring on her MyPillow pet bed. So let's get back to this. Biden Supreme Court nominee Ketanji. Am I the only one that's having trouble with this name? Biden Supreme Court nominee Ketanji, like Angie, but with a Kaj. Brown Jackson and Paul Ryan are family. Let's get through this. Supreme Court Justice nominee Ketanji Brown Jackson and former Speaker of the House Paul Ryan, who currently sits on the board of directors at Fox News Channel, who was a never-Trumper, who ran as vice president of the United States with that other never-Trumper, that's right, Mitt Romney, and who also disinvited the greatest president ever, Donald Trump, from a campaign event after the Access Hollywood thing came. Remember that? Republican from Wisconsin, are related by marriage. Shocking. I am very shocked at this. I mean, it makes sense because Washington's incestuous and all of that, but still, it is upsetting. Biden tapped Jackson to replace Justice Stephen Breyer as an associate justice on the Supreme Court. The nomination will create a dramatic battle for her confirmation in the Senate. That is Democrat by only one vote. That's not true. Unless they come up with a major scandal, she's going to get on the Supreme Court. And the one positive that we can take out of this is that, Breyer's a lib, she's a lib, so, it doesn't affect the balance of the court. Paul Ryan, who was a distant relative of Jackson, quickly praised Biden's nomination to serve on the Supreme Court. Jana and I are incredibly happy for Ketanji and her entire family, which includes Paul Ryan, the Wisconsin Republican said. Jackson and Ryan are connected by marriage. Jackson's husband, Patrick Jackson, is the twin brother of Paul Ryan's brother-in-law, William Jackson. So that is what. Now let me ask you guys this, and let me know in the chat. If you're listening later, let me know in the comments. What are the odds? What are the odds that this is a coincidence? You know what I think the odds are? Zero. By the way, can you hear my dog snoring on the MyPillow pet bed? Let's listen. I hear her in the headphones. Yes. Yeah, she's snoring. But the show must go on, even though my dog is not interested in sleeping at my feet on the MyPillow pet bed. No, I mean, this is insane. And who knew that Paul Ryan had black relatives? Right? Although Paul Ryan and Jackson may not agree on politics, really, you think? I bet they both hate Trump equally. I bet you there's a lot of politics that Ketanji and Paul agree on. Although Ryan and Jackson may not agree on politics, Paul Ryan has been a staunch supporter of Jackson's legal career. Ryan testified in 2012 on behalf of Jackson when she was nominated to serve on the U.S. District Court for the District of Columbia. Paul Ryan offered his unequivocal endorsement of Jackson. Oh, my goodness. Our politics may differ, but we both hate Trump like the plague. No, Paul Ryan didn't say that. He didn't say that. But he's thinking it. We're family by marriage. Now, it says here, our politics may differ. BS. But my praise for Ketanji's intellect, for her character, for her integrity is unequivocal. She is an amazing person, and I favorably recommend her consideration. Jackson said at her December 2012 nomination hearing, we're family by marriage. Her brother and sister-in-law, who are my brother and sister-in-law, William and Dana Jackson, are here with us as well today. He said at the time. So that not only is Paul Ryan related to Ketanji, they've been related for a long time. And, like I was saying at the top, this isn't like some 18th cousin, 12th removed from some plantation in South Carolina in 1836. This is ongoing family. And I suspect that her road in these other positions she's had are through never Trumper creep Paul Ryan. Paul Ryan and Biden appear to be of the same mind about Jackson. Biden wrote on Friday, I'm proud to announce I'm nominating Judge Ketanji Brown Jackson to serve on the Supreme Court, currently serving on the U.S. Court of Appeals for the D.C. Circuit. She's one of our nation's brightest legal minds and will be an exceptional justice. That's that, yeah. So there you have it. Paul Ryan and Ketanji are related, and he's been backing her for at least 10 years that we know of by the public statements, and probably goes back. And you know what? You know what really pisses me off about this, people? You know what really pisses me off? This was news to you when I started this stream this morning. This was news to me until I read this article a couple hours ago on Breitbart. But you know who it wasn't news to? Everyone on Fox News Channel, everyone on every media outlet that covered this yesterday, they all knew this, and they covered it up. They sat on this story and didn't tell us why. They told us that she was in drama class with Matt Damon. How many times did you hear that one? Because they don't want, you see, this is what we're talking about. This is the establishment, the Uniparty. This fake division between the Republican establishment and the Democrats. They're all one family. And I'll tell you this, we all need to talk about this and get this out there, because I think Democrats, they're not going to like this. They're not going to like this. You know, and they tell us, now think about this now. They tell us that Clarence Thomas isn't black. Joe Biden said, if you don't vote for him, you ain't black. Notice how he uses ain't because he thinks that's how African Americans speak. Right? Well, what if you're married to a Republican Speaker of the House? Does that have any type of influence on what your status is? These people are sickos. Sickos. Oh my goodness. Freedom Soup. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Freedom Soup's in my Marco Polo group. Oh man, I tell you. Isn't it discouraging? See what Trump is going up against? There were people that are related that you don't even know are related. I mean, did anyone know that Paul Ryan had black relatives? I had no idea. But you know what? Everyone in Washington knew. Everyone at CNN knew. Not news to them, but news to us. Oh, man. I know. You know, there's a lot of articles about her, and, maybe we'll hear something. I haven't heard anything too radical. I mean, I've heard some things I don't like about her. There's going to be a major media cover-up of anything controversial that she was involved in, and what is she, 51? So she does have a social media footprint. Let's see if there's any controversial tweets. And I love how they say, well, she's been confirmed before. You know, when they nominate a woman, in particular a minority woman, there's very little that can stop them. Was it Sonia Sotomayor, who was nominated by Barack Obama? Remember that very racist quote of hers? There was a quote of hers that came out. And it said, a wise Latina can make a better decision than a white man. Remember that? Gee whiz. And, it's not even a speed bump. Democrats have complete immunity. And I do enjoy this photograph that Breitbart used in the story, because Paul Ryan is laughing at all of us. Oh, my goodness. I know. Isn't that something? That just makes me sick. That's all I need to know about her to know that she is she's unfit for duty. Oh, man. I know. And it really, you got to wonder how many other people are related up there we don't know about. I mean, it's crazy. That's why someone like President Trump and Marjorie Taylor Greene and Madison Cawthorn and others, This is, and Alan West, when he went to Congress, these guys, and I don't think Marjorie Taylor Greene is into, pronouns and everything. So I think when we say guys, I don't think Marjorie Taylor Greene would mind, right? I hope not, because she's pretty tough. She kicked my butt. You ever see her work out with the Marines? But, someone like Marjorie Taylor Greene and President Trump, they're outsiders. They don't have family connections like this. Even the black Democrats are related to Republicans. And when these outsiders come in, they don't have the family connections and the other connections, and they're just not part of the club. Not part of the club. And I'm very interested, and we don't have any details on this yet, and hopefully Breitbart and some others will start to look into this. But I'm very interested in finding out how Ketanji ended up marrying into Paul Ryan's family. Aren't you guys a little curious about that one? I'm pretty curious about that one. And it's something that he has kept a secret for a long, long time. That's right. Marjorie Taylor Greene would be an incredible Speaker of the House. I love Marjorie Taylor Greene. I really do. Now, this is something, our friends in Canada. Can you guys hear the dog snoring? Let me stop talking again. See if you can hear Nina snoring on the MyPillow pet bed. I can hear her. I don't know if I'm hearing her through my headphones or through my regular ears. It's hard to tell, but she's sound asleep. All right, Nina. Hopefully she won't wake up, because when she wakes up, she gets very needy. She'll want my attention. She'll want my attention. Now, I saw this story today. This is for those of you in Canada. Justin Trudeau took a break from blackface, and he went out with the gays. And the Trending Politics, by the way, is an incredible conservative news website. If you don't know about Trending Politics, make sure that you check them out, trendingpolitics.com. By the way, we will take some calls. I'm going to put the number to call in live on the stream here. I don't have this number memorized yet because it's a different number than I use for the weekday. But this number, you can call me live on the stream, and I'll pin it to the chat. Hold on. Let's see. There we go. Let me make sure I got the number right. 561-453-0328. If you have any comments on Ketanji and her being family to Paul Ryan or anything else you have on your mind today, we'll keep it open phones. Try to be relevant, but we'll keep it open phones. You can call that number. Now, this article here, at first I thought, Trending Politics is spectacular. I love Trending Politics, but this is maybe this is like headline clickbait. Canada considering Minority Report pre-crime. And this is actually very, very true. Look at this. In what has been coined pre-crimes legislation, this is in Canada, coming to a state legislature here in the near future. And what has been coined pre-crime legislation is actually making its way through the Canadian Parliament, which would allow for citizens to be taken to court and penalized if they are suspected of simply intending to post hate speech online. The proposed law encourages Canadians to report other Canadians to the authorities for the intent to post hate speech online and allows courts to punish Canadian citizens for things they have not done. So now hate speech is a very vague term. MAGA is hate speech. Remember that one Liberal member of Parliament said the other day, the honk honk on a semi-truck horn is code for Heil Hitler. So the definition of hate speech is unbelievable, but is pretty much anything. I mean, this shirt, my great Daytona 500 Trump shirt, which, by the way, Sarah gave me this shirt. I love this shirt. And, remember this? This is from the Daytona 500. That's right. It's a great shirt. But this is hate speech by their standards, right? But it's not just posting hate speech, and what they mean is on social media. It's just if you think about it, or maybe you didn't think about it, but someone they tell them that you've been thinking about posting something on a thread on the Twitter, on the Facebook. What about you? That's a crime now, if this were to pass. And I'll tell you, it sounds crazy, this Minority Report pre-crime thing. It does sound crazy, doesn't it? But you know what? I wouldn't put it past Canada after what we've seen recently. Oh, let's take a call. Hold on. Caught me off guard. Hello there. You're on the stream. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Oh, well, this is David from Texas.
David in Texas. What's up, David in Texas?
Oh, nothing. I was just calling to see if we ever thought about, when Trump went around the world on his tour, the things that happened in the days after that over there that they never showed here.
Like, what do you mean?
Well, after he left England, the Queen had a ceremony there, and they put the crown on an empty chair.
Oh, really?
Yeah. And when he left Saudi Arabia...
Well, hold on. Slow down a second here. Because what's the significance of the crown on an empty chair after Trump left? What does that mean?
Well, I believe, my opinion is that when he made that tour, was that he had them all capitulate to him.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And they all gave up all their power to him to make him the king of the world.
I see. Yeah.
And he
then
told them that
Yeah.
if you mess with our election, I'm going to keep all this stuff.
So Trump is the king of England, is what you're telling me.
Well, actually, the king of the world, actually.
And
because they did the same thing in Saudi Arabia when he left there.
They made him the king
and he
of
went
Saudi
to
Arabia?
Israel. Yeah, because they have to do a special dance when they have the transfer, you know,
Mm-hmm.
and they have to do all that publicly.
Mm-hmm.
Well, the night that Trump was there, they held a ceremony, and then the next night, before he left, they held another ceremony.
Yeah.
And they handed him the sword of Saudi Arabia.
Oh, okay. Okay,
And-
that's interesting. I'm
And
going to look into
didn't he never raised it up
Mm-hmm.
so that wouldn't mean that he's not taking them to war. He kept it down.
That's interesting. Well, I'm going to look into
Yeah.
that. I appreciate you bringing that to my attention. All right.
Well, he did that to everywhere.
Well, I
When
appreciate
he left
no,
when he
well,
left the Pope, he
Yeah.
said that, you know, don't mess with our election. And when he was
Okay, all right. Okay, I'm going to look into that. I appreciate that. I do, you know, he's king of the world. I wouldn't mind if he was king of the world, but we'll find out. We'll find out. Dave in Texarkana, I appreciate the call. Oh, man, that's good. Oh, boy. I know. I wanted to show you guys this video. Let me show you. Do you mind hearing from Mrs. Clinton for just a minute? I know it's. I know. We don't. You know. I know. I'm not a big fan of Mrs. Clinton either. But let me pull this.
But can you just?
Okay, let's go on. Here's Mrs. Clinton. She's talking about Putin. She's talking about everything that's going on. Hold on. Let me pull this up. Yeah. No, I would believe me. Believe me. If President Trump was king of the world, I'd be a happy man. Wouldn't you? I mean, you know, I could make him president for life as far as I'm concerned. I mean, you know, President Trump is perfect. You know, this is another news website, by the way, I go to. I know a lot of you are probably familiar with it, the Gateway Pundit. And I've been using the Gateway Pundit for many years. It's one of my go-to news sources. They're spectacular. And one thing you'll really like about the Gateway Pundit, you can't post anything from the Gateway Pundit on Facebook. The links won't allow you to post. That's how good they are. Facebook has not just blocked the Gateway Pundit themselves. No one on the planet can take a link from a Gateway Pundit article and post it on Facebook. So that tells you they're really good. So Mrs. Clinton, you know, looks like Mrs. Clinton's got some work done there. Looks like she's lost a little weight. Looks like she's got some Botox and fillers. And I always kind of thought that Joe Scarborough, who's a traitor, right, fake Republican, former Republican, that he looks like Odo, the shapeshifter from Star Trek Deep Space Nine. And, of course, his wife, Mika. Before I play this exchange with Hillary Clinton here, a couple things about Mika and Joe, other than, you know, you can look up the intern thing in Florida. I think, you know, President Trump's talked about that a lot, and a lot of guys know about this. Of course, they're married, and she is deep state. A lot of people don't know this. She's deep state. Mika Brzezinski, her father, right, that she keeps her name, right? She still goes by Mika Brzezinski, not Scarborough. Her father was the national security advisor to President Carter. That was a long time ago, I know. But her father was the national security advisor to President Carter during those terrible 4 years. So she's deep state. Another thing about the two of them that people don't know, they have this backdrop, right? Washington, D.C., and I guess that looks like the Supreme Court behind them both. They are not in Washington. They actually live right down the street from Don Jr. in Jupiter, Florida. Jupiter, Florida is in Palm Beach County, and it's north. It's right at the northern tip of Palm Beach County. Palm Beach County is a big county. It's the county I live in. And it's actually about a 25, 30-minute drive north of Mar-a-Lago. But they live right down the street, literally right down the street from Don Jr. And they're in Jupiter, Florida. And they have a studio in their mansion. And they have these backdrops in Washington to make you think that they're in Washington. I mean, I guess I could put a backdrop of the Capitol building behind me and make it look as if I'm in Washington and not Florida. But, that would be, If I did something like that, I would let you know. You guys would still know I'm in Florida. But they want people to think that they feel the pulse of the community, of the country, of the politics. And they are, But no, they're in Florida, down the street from Don Jr.
But can you just explain to the American people that behind the scenes, these senators, we have Senator Risch and Senator Menendez trying to find common ground. Can you?
Now Menendez, is he the one that was on trial for bribery a few years ago? He beat that rap. And his daughter now has a show on MSNBC. Senator Menendez, yeah, he was the one that was on trial on those bribery charges that he beat.
Give Americans hope that that really does happen behind closed doors in the Senate.
Well, it certainly used to, and I hope it is now and will continue, Joe. And maybe this terrible aggression by Putin will stiffen the spines.
Wait a minute. Let me ask you guys, because my memory is a little foggy on this with Hillary Clinton. Didn't she take that reset button to Russia? Didn't she do the Russian reset, and she actually had that button? It looked like that button from the Staples that you would use to push. I'm pretty sure. And we're going to listen to foreign policy analysis from the woman that brought us Benghazi, the Muslim Spring. Oh, my goodness.
Of a lot of Republicans in office who understand, you cannot continue to give Trump and his enablers a blank check, because they will lead us to a very bad place. And so I'm hoping that some of the examples you just mentioned will not only happen behind closed doors, but I would love to see some of the smart, articulate, Republican members of Congress go ahead and be more willing to take on the craziness on the far right. I mean,
the craziness on the far right. Another right-wing conspiracy against my husband, right? Also, and I'll play the rest of this to see if Joe and Mika ask, but if I were interviewing Mrs. Clinton here, and she's talking about Russia and the problem with Putin and that he's evil and Russia is evil, I'm not disagreeing that those things are true, but my question to Mrs. Clinton would be, if all these things about Mr. Putin are true, why did you, as Secretary of State, give Vladimir Putin 20% of the U.S. uranium supply so that he could weaponize the missiles that are pointed right here to American cities? D.C., Atlanta, L.A., New York, Miami. Oh, my goodness.
It is something that needs to happen. I mean, I can say from now till the cows come home and talk to half the country about how dangerous it is, what is happening in what used to be the Republican Party. But it would really be a profile and courage for some of these other Republicans to say, look, there are things I agree with, but I am not going to be on the side of Vladimir Putin, of Russian aggression.
She gave, think about this. I am not going to be on the side of Vladimir Putin. She gave him 20, and by the way, we know why she did it, right? Bribe money for the Clinton Foundation. And they did it in they had this whole uranium laundering operation going. They did it through a company in Canada and all these different things, But she's accusing Trump of being in league and being in business with Putin. She is the one that gave him the uranium deposits of the United States, 20% of them, to weaponize his nuclear arsenal.
I am going to be on the side of America. We're going to pull the world together.
America with a K, right?
We're going to show what we stand for. I think that's a winning argument. Now, will there be the crazies who keep yelling and screaming and talking the stuff they do on one of your competitor networks? Of course. But let's narrow that audience by getting voices out there that have credibility. And then let's show through the hard work behind the scenes what bipartisan foreign policy cooperation looks like.
Yeah.
But can you just explain to the American people that behind...
No, we don't need her to explain it again. We heard it the first time, Morning Joe. Oh, my goodness. Oh, my goodness. And they don't ask her anything. They don't ask her about the 20% of the uranium deposit to Russia. They don't ask her about Benghazi. The thing about Benghazi, that was... why, people forget about Benghazi, but... because it's been a long time and the media want you to forget about it. But have any of you ever wondered why the U.S. ambassador from the United States to Libya was in Benghazi? Who even heard of Benghazi? The capital is where the ambassadors typically are, especially in third world countries. And Tripoli, from the halls of Montezuma to the shores of Tripoli, Marine Corps him, Tripoli is the capital. Why was the ambassador from the United States to Libya not in the capital? And it's because Hillary, even before that screwed up, she screwed up again. What Chris Stevens was doing there, who was a friend of hers that she allowed to die when the Muslim Spring was going on and Gaddafi was over there, Obama, under the guidance of Hillary Clinton, armed the rebels against Gaddafi that overthrew Gaddafi. And those rebels with our weapons were joining up with some very bad people, terrorist organizations. And Chris Stevens was not in the capital of Tripoli, but in this far-off little town, Benghazi, to work with these people to get the U.S. arms back. And the reason there was a big cover-up about the deaths in Benghazi is for a very simple reason. It's because all of the Americans in Benghazi who were killed because of Hillary Clinton's incompetence, they were killed by terrorists using American weapons that Hillary Clinton and Barack Obama gave them. That's the big secret of Benghazi that they don't want to talk about. And between that and what Hillary Clinton did with the uranium deposits, giving them to Russia through that uranium, and what she did by that is, as Secretary of State, she had to sign off on this. And Robert Mueller had a connection to that too. But Hillary Clinton signed off. And, the Clinton Foundation... the Clinton Foundation was a money laundering operation, the car wash from Breaking Bad. And I remember when the Clinton Foundation was new and Bill Clinton first started speaking around the world, and Hillary, when the brief time she was out of office, remember they would get over $200,000 a speech. And people used to ask, we used to talk about this all the time. What is Bill Clinton saying that's worth $200,000 for a little short speech? And what we found out was it's money laundering. They weren't paying him for the speeches. They were paying him for the political favors that Senator and then Secretary of State Hillary Clinton was giving to people. It was a money laundering operation, the Clinton Foundation. Right? And that's why now the Clintons have taken over Black Lives Matter at a national level, because the Clinton Foundation is dried up because they don't have offices to sell anymore. So they're taking over Black Lives Matter. They saw the stories about how much money it was bringing in, and it's basically like a real estate racket, which is real estate scam. This real estate scam going on with Black Lives Matter. That's what got Hillary interested, because remember, the Clintons have a history of real estate scams. Remember Whitewater? That was a real estate scam. So the Clintons have taken over the top leadership positions of Black Lives Matter. Well, I want to take a moment here, guys, to tell you about the Thomas Edison of sleep, the great Mike Lindell, and we'll talk just here quickly. I'll share this message from Mike Lindell, and it is about the MyPillow towels. And I took a shower this morning, as I do every morning, and of course I dried off with the MyPillow towels. And everything you'll hear Mike Lindell say about the MyPillow towels here is the gospel. It is the truth. I mean, they work like towels are supposed to work. Listen to Mike Lindell.
Hello, I'm Mike Lindell, the CEO of MyPillow. Cancel culture has not only affected myself and MyPillow, but also millions of you out there. Well, my employees and I want to personally thank each and every one of you for all your support, and we want to pass the savings directly on to you. At MyPillow, we have hundreds of products, including my new slippers, bathrobes, sleepwear, and my new beds. We are offering the best gifts ever for the best prices ever. For example, you get my new towels with proprietary technology, which makes them not only soft, but absorbent. Towels that work. What a concept. They're made with USA cotton, and they come in a variety of awesome colors. My 6-piece towel set is regularly $109.99, now just $39.99 with your promo code. So go to MyPillow.com now and use the promo code on your screen, or call the 1-800 number below to receive this exclusive offer. Thank you, and God bless.
Yeah.
Hello, I'm Mike.
And, that's right. Promo code Kane at checkout, Kane. That's right. And you get that incredible deal. And you can also call toll-free 1-800-716-4879 and use the promo code Kane, Kane. 1-800-716-4879. Just $39 for the MyPillow towels. My wife and I, we have the blue is what I dried off with this morning. Kathy has ordered the purple, and these are all the different colors they come in. So pretty good deal. Promo code Kane, and of course, also 1-800-716-4879, and you'll be happy that you did. Oh, man, I tell you, these, the Clintons. Yeah, yes. Let's see. There was another article I wanted to... There was actually a video I wanted to share with you guys. Hold on, let me pull this up with Sebastian Gorka at CPAC, who is just absolutely amazing. I love Sebastian Gorka. Is it going to let me play this video? It's not letting me play the video. Hold on, let me see if I can get this going here. Okay. Let's see. It's not letting me play. Hold on. Live. We're live, people, in case you didn't know. Well, let's take a call while I'm trying to figure that out. Hold on. Where is the phone ringing from? It's not letting me answer the phone. I'm going to have to restart the phone. Hold on. Okie dokie. Let me see here. All right, try to call back now. It should work now, guys. Sorry about that. My apologies as I was trying to pull this up. Well, it's not going to let me play the Sebastian Gorka video. I can't believe this. Let me try one more time. I'll try one more thing. If not, I'll move on. After all this buildup of not being able to play it, it'll be anticlimactic anyway. Let's see. Oh, well, it won't work, so I'll just have to move on. That's what happens, people. That's what happens. Okay, now, this here, though, is something I definitely wanted to share with you guys. If you'd like to call back, please do. All right, here we go. Hello there. You're on the stream live. What's your name? Where are you calling from? Nope. Okay, go ahead. You're on. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hi, Brian. This is Pam from New York.
Hey, Pam in New
You
York.
were
What's
wondering about that Ketanji, Biden's nominee.
Mm-hmm.
The way she's related to Paul Ryan, his wife has twin brothers. She's married to one of Paul Ryan's wife's.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I know.
Brother.
Yeah, I know that. Yes, I know that. We went over that at the beginning of the stream. But what I'm curious about is how that happened. How did she meet and fall in love and marry? You know, how did they meet?
Well, her family is very well connected in the Democratic Party.
Mm-hmm.
And she had political ambitions from an early on.
Oh, yeah.
And I heard the news media say, "Oh, she was voted in with 89 votes. She's a shoo-in." Well, she's got a lot of skeletons in her closet now. She's not going to be an easy shoo-in.
You know, I wouldn't be so sure about that, because when you're dealing with a Supreme Court nominee and you're dealing with a Democrat, whoever they are, male or female, when you're dealing with a Democrat, they already have immunity from pretty much anything. And when you add to that a double minority, a black woman, there's two minorities there, black woman, two liberal victim groups, it would have to be something pretty hardcore. The only time I can recall with Democrats, high-profile women running into trouble was when Bill Clinton nominated, before Janet Reno, Zoe Baer, and then there was another woman he nominated to be attorney general, and both of them had unpaid taxes with a nanny, and they had to step aside because of the legal implications, and they were going to have a law enforcement position. Ketanji, I mean, we might as well just accept that she's going to be there, unless there's something incredibly, insanely scandalous, which I cannot imagine. And she's so that would rise to the level of a black Democrat woman not getting the nomination. And this Paul Ryan connection, I'm also very curious, since they're related so closely, what role Paul Ryan had in her getting this nomination.
Well, she used to be a clerk for the judge that's retiring.
Yeah, but what I mean is,
for him.
But what I mean is Paul Ryan, and Paul Ryan has had a connection with her for a long time, and Paul Ryan has
95.
So Paul Ryan has played an instrumental role as he was nominated for the Republican vice president. He was the Republican Speaker of the House. So, I'm curious as to why this never Trumper Republican for so many years, what role he's played in her rise through politics. And I think it's important for us to talk about for a number of reasons. One, it shows us the swamp that President Trump's up against. But I think Democrats, I'm curious to see what the Democrat reaction would be, because when this announcement was made yesterday, I didn't know this. Most of us didn't know it, but all those reporters knew it and covered up the story. They don't want us to know about this because you understand? Everyone at Fox News, but Paul Ryan's on the board of directors of Fox. Everyone at CNN and NBC and ABC and CBS, and they all know. They all knew this before she was named yesterday about the Paul Ryan connection, and they all sat on the story because they don't want Democrats to know about it.
Right. Well, I knew Western Journal covered the 3 black women, one lady from Hawaii, this Ketanji, and then a Cheryl Mills or something, and they had a pretty in-depth article that I read on it.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm like, okay.
Yeah. No, this is
this is shocking. It'll be very interesting.
Yeah. All right. Hey, listen, thanks for the call. Appreciate it.
Okay. Bye-bye.
All right. Take care. Yeah, you're all welcome to call in. By the way, we're taking calls live here on the stream. This is, I think, the third week. Is it the second or third week? Maybe the third week I've been taking calls on the stream here on the weekend. And my daughter set all this up for me, and I enjoy it. I think it's a little more relaxed than when I'm on the air during the week, because that's a little more intense. A lot of people, when I'm doing the show during the week, while I am streaming here on YouTube, I got to primarily do the show for the radio audience. We're on 3 radio stations, and we have a lot of radio listeners that listen to us on iHeartRadio and places like that too. So the show has to be more geared towards, the radio audience, because there's over 100,000 people listening at any given moment, and over a 24-hour period, way over that. I'm talking about listening live. So that so when I do the streams like this, or I do a live premiere on my podcast here on my YouTube channel, it's I can pay more attention to you guys on YouTube, all right? If you're new here, by the way, make sure that you subscribe. And everyone, please like the video and click the notification bell. I upload content here all of the time, okay? my podcast with Kathy I upload here. I vlog and do other things that I add here all the time. So I wanted to, this is something that's very concerning to me. CPAC's going on today. President Trump speaking there tonight, which is very awesome. And, you know, they invited Tulsi Gabbard to speak. And Tulsi Gabbard, this is a Trojan horse, okay? And this is in the Washington Examiner. And if you're not familiar with the Washington Examiner is, this will be the new flag of the United States. It might as well be, right, with all our politicians on the take from China. But the Washington Examiner is a very Republican newspaper. They have all the stories that are relevant, and it's very good. And they're online, the Washington Examiner. Very good paper. Tulsi Gabbard torches cancel culture. Okay, and Aloha former Hawaii Democrat Rep. Tulsi Gabbard said when she took the stage at the Conservative Political Action Conference Ronald Reagan dinner on Friday, "Aloha!" The crowd of top conservative donors and sponsors responded in a friendly manner. "You're making me feel right at home," Tulsi Gabbard said. Okay. Now, I was talking about this last week, and I want to share with you in writing some things so you guys can know. Democrats do not belong at CPAC. They don't belong at CPAC. I didn't share this week, but I was going to go to CPAC today, and I'm not because of Tulsi Gabbard. I just was disgusted by it. CPAC's in Orlando, and I wasn't going to go for the whole weekend because it starts on Thursday, goes through Sunday, and I got to work and everything. You know, I didn't want to take off the air to be there. But I didn't go today because she was there, and it just and I know President Trump's going to be there tonight, and I'll be watching, and that's great. And our great governor here in Florida, Ron DeSantis, spoke, but I felt like they slighted Ron DeSantis. They had him speak Thursday in the middle of the day. Ron DeSantis should be speaking in prime time. Maybe they'll have him introduce the president, President Trump, tonight. I don't know, but I really didn't care for that. And I'm a supporter of CPAC, and I don't want to attack CPAC, but something's going on here. To have not only Tulsi Gabbard there and being honored. The only time a Democrat belongs at CPAC, I'm serious about this, is if the Democrat is going to CPAC to announce that they're leaving the Democrat Party and becoming a Republican. That's the only time. I mean, CPAC is our thing. No, it's just not. It's not right. And she's being promoted so much, Tulsi Gabbard, on Fox News as well. And she is no conservative. And I'll share a couple things here with you in a minute that prove it in writing in black and white. But I talked about this on the air this week. Tulsi Gabbard works with the Bidens. And if you remember, I'll just tell you quickly because I talked about this earlier in the week. The first debate for the Democrats in the last presidential cycle, remember the first debate, Kamala just devastated Biden, bringing up his racist, segregationist, anti-busing past. They brought Tulsi Gabbard, dressed in all white like an angel, to come in the second debate for one purpose and one purpose only, to run Kamala Harris off the stage. And she did. She just humiliated Kamala Harris. She even brought up a death penalty case where she accused Kamala Harris of suppressing evidence in a death penalty case she prosecuted as California Attorney General. And that's after that, Kamala, she was run out of the race. I know she's vice president now, but, come on, please. So Tulsi Gabbard did that in cooperation with Joe and Jill Biden. So she's in with the Bidens. She works with the Bidens. She's partners with the Bidens. She is no Republican. She is no conservative. And And it doesn't surprise me that Fox is promoting her so much. My goodness, Paul Ryan, who's related to the Ketanji here, is on their board of directors. But these people at CPAC welcoming Tulsi Gabbard like this, I just didn't feel like I belonged, and that's why I am not there today. And I have a lot of friends that are there. I just wasn't for me. So now this is on Wikipedia, and you can look all of this up. Okay, this is how liberal she is. Okay, drug policy and criminal justice reform. This is her whole Wikipedia. These are her on some issues. Now you'll see, like many people, she supports legalizing marijuana. Okay, that's pretty much already done. But she goes into a little more detail here. Listen to this. Not only does she want to end what she calls the war on drugs, right, by legalizing marijuana, she wants to end cash bail, ban private businesses, private prisons, and then, let me find this other one. Okay, here we go. In January 2020, I'm standing over some of it, so I'll back up. In January 2020, Tulsi Gabbard called for legalizing and regulating all drugs. All drugs. Marijuana is one thing, okay? I get that. But in January 2020, Tulsi Gabbard called for legalizing and regulating all drugs, citing Portugal's model for drug decriminalization. She also called to decriminalize all drug possession in October 2019. She also introduced legislation to decriminalize drug possession at the federal level. Okay? Then, Tulsi Gabbard protested the construction of the Dakota Access Pipeline in North Dakota. So she's against pipelines. She's in favor of the Green New Deal. Her problem is it's too vague. She's opposed to nuclear energy. She advocates moving the United States off of fossil fuels. So, she is a hard, and you can go to the Wikipedia of hers and look all that up. So she is not just liberal. Those are radical positions. Legalizing marijuana is a whole nother thing, okay? I don't include that with the other things. She advocated legalizing all drugs. That means crack, powdered cocaine, heroin, and regulating them. Well, look, prescription medications are regulated, and look at the problem we have on that. So, yeah, come on. And the Green New Deal that she supports, she doesn't think goes far enough to the left. So that's AOC's baby. So what are your thoughts on having someone like this as an honored speaker at our conservative event at CPAC? It's very concerning to me. And I don't think I'm alone in that. I think a lot of people feel this way, and she's being pushed upon us by not just Fox News. Obviously, they're a part of it, but she's being pushed on us by someone who I don't know. And I don't know what I think she's being groomed to maybe be like Secretary of Defense. I don't know about president. Maybe the Democrats are, and because of her military background and everything, a lot of conservatives will ignore these truths about her that I just shared with you. But Tulsi Gabbard is just a very, very radical liberal, and it's not right for her to be not only be at CPAC, but to be an honored speaker at CPAC. That's not right. Now, this is something here. Now, last week we were talking about this woman who was run over in Canada by the police horses and was hospitalized. Mike Smith says, Brian Craig, I didn't want to get pissed off today, but you completed the task. LOL. Well, who are you pissed off at, Mike? Is it me or is it what's going on here at CPAC? I mean, I just, I don't know. That's, how do they treat Marjorie Taylor Greene at CPAC? Yeah, exactly. And they had, exactly. Now, look at this. She is moving to Florida. This is the woman who was, here she is, trampled by the Canadian police horses. She's moving to Ron DeSantis's Free Florida. The Mohawk woman who was trampled by horses at the Freedom Convoy protest will be moving to Florida with her family. The woman who was trampled by mounted police officers announced her decision on Twitter Thursday. After getting trampled by horses by Trudeau, I decided I will be moving to Florida with my family, she wrote. She doesn't say where in Florida. There she is. Wow. Yep. It doesn't say, let me scroll through. Nope, it doesn't say where in Florida. Well, if it's in my neck of the woods, I'll get in touch with her and we'll have her on. But, yeah, she's welcome in studio anytime with me to tell her story. Yeah, that's right. Well, a lot of people are moving to Ron DeSantis' Free Florida. She is not alone, but a very wide... that's how bad things are. She's not just moving from Florida from, like, New York, right? She is leaving her country behind. And she'll probably have some role still in what's going on in Canada. Now, this here, I don't know if you've seen this today. Ukraine discussing with Russia about a time and place for ceasefire talks. And this was, even though this video, I know everyone's seen this video, even though he's not speaking English, it's pretty dramatic. I'm not sure what I think about this. Is this a surrender by Ukraine? Is Ukraine going to give up here? I was talking yesterday, and I got a lot of feedback on both sides of this. I believe what is going on in... let me see if I can click this off. No, but it's not letting me. Oh, well. I was talking yesterday, what I think's going on is that the United States and our European allies are purposefully bringing back the Cold War. I think they want the Cold War back. I think they miss the Cold War because it's good for money. It's good for their profits. And I think they're bringing back the Cold War. I'm a little unclear, and I'm open to what you guys think. I don't really have a prediction on how this whole thing's going to end in Ukraine. Is Zelensky going to remain president of a smaller Ukraine that has a little area, these areas carved out of it for Russia? Do you think Putin's going to take all of Ukraine and make it a satellite state of Russia? I don't know exactly what's going on here. But I know that we have at least 20 solid years ahead of us of a Cold War situation in Eastern Europe again, which means military buildup, military contracts, more troops heading to Europe. Back in the 80s, we had a lot of troops still in Europe, and we don't have as many troops and as many bases in Europe as we used to have, but they'll be coming back. So, this whole thing is fake. This is all by design. Putin wants Mother Russia back, but the United States political establishment, the donors, the deep state, and the NATO countries, they want the fear of Russia back. And our alliance with Germany really needs to be. I don't think Marjorie Taylor Greene's speaking at CPAC. Somebody just asked me about Marjorie Taylor Greene. She's at the other conference down the street again. She should be a primetime speaker, Marjorie Taylor Greene, at CPAC, but I don't believe she's speaking at CPAC. If I'm wrong about that, I hope I am. Let me know in the chat, but I don't believe she is. But no, we've got a 20-year Cold War situation ahead of us now. And this is just the beginning. This is just the beginning of it. And let me see if I've got this video. Oh, yes, I do. I want to show you guys this. I saw this online, and you know, now Germany. Let me just finish up with Germany. Our alliance with Germany, that really needs to be reevaluated. You know, the government of Germany is working with Putin, right? I mean, I think we accept that, but how did that happen, right? How did these children and grandchildren of Nazis end up working with Putin? Because after the unification of Germany, here we are now, many years later. Many people in government in Germany grew up in East Germany. They were educated in Soviet schools all the way through college. Their parents were. All right? So a lot of people inside, I don't know about the new chancellor, but a lot of people in very senior positions, just like in this country, we have this, this political establishment, this deep state. In Germany, former East Germans are at very senior levels in all agencies of government in Germany. And their allegiance is to the Soviet Union. I mean, that's amazing. That's amazing. Oh, yeah. Right Side Broadcasting interviewed Marjorie Taylor Greene. Yeah, I saw an interview with Right Side Broadcasting and Marjorie Taylor Greene. I don't know if it's the one you are talking about, but she's always great. Now, this is a diversity video that was put out by NATO. Yeah, Merkel is East German, absolutely, but she's not alone. This is a diversity, NATO, North Atlantic Treaty Organization. It was really started by Eisenhower when he was still a general. If my memory serves, Eisenhower may have been the first leader of NATO. If memory serves, I could be wrong about that, but he certainly was. He was instrumental in establishing NATO originally under President Truman. It was one of the final things he did as a general. And NATO was set up for a very serious purpose, to stop Russian advancement. And this is a new video put out by NATO, and you got to ask yourself, really, are these people that are going to stand up to Putin? Watch this.
At NATO,
diversity
is our strength. Nous parlons une multitude de langues.
Nous possédons
des talents différents.
Our own unique personalities.
We come from all over the world.
From every walk of life.
No two of us
are the same.
We work together.
Respect our needs.
Embrace our differences.
Because we all have one thing in common.
We are NATO.
Now, let me go back to this. Let me go back to the guy that has a bun in his hair. What do you think Putin's thinking? You know Putin's seen this video. By the way, Prancer, $5 super chat. Thank you so much. Everyone thank Prancer for that. But let's go back here. This guy. That's NATO? This guy looks like he should be on a laptop at Starbucks, okay, with a triple latte. You think Putin's worried about this guy? With a bun in his hair? Yeah. You know, President Trump, I know. Can you imagine? That's what NATO's all about now. Oh, my goodness. Oh, my goodness. I don't know. Does the T stand for treaty or trans? I don't know what the T stands for. Maybe they've changed the meaning of T. I don't know in NATO. You know, President Trump told Laura Ingraham the other night that he thinks the fall of Afghanistan is when Putin finally decides, okay, let's just do it, right? Let's just do it. And maybe, but this is part of it. This is part of it. You know, NATO is supposed to be a tough organization that is taking on the Ruskies to preserve freedom and democracy. This video, I don't know, what does that video look like? That looks like a video that they play for you during new employee orientation at Chipotle or something, or Starbucks. And you look at the military people there. Did you see any? Go back and let's look at the not the civilians, but the military people. I mean, does this guy look tough? Does this look like General Eisenhower, General Patton, General Schwarzkopf? You know, let's see here. And this guy, what's this guy doing? That's the head of NATO. Let's find another military person. Bun in the hair. Let's see here. Oh, yeah. Yeah, this guy. Do they have military people at NATO anymore? Not very many. And have you seen, let me ask you this. Have you seen one manly man that would scare you? You're supposed to have scary people at NATO. Let's see here. Okay, I guess, and by her accent, I'm guessing she's Canadian. Okay, so we got two people in uniform. The guy with the bun in the hair. Yeah, here's she. I guess she's telling him how to put the bun in his hair, or I think she's asking the guy for help on how to put a bun in her hair. And that's it. Yeah, that's it. I mean, come on. Come on. You know, we have never been weaker in our history. All right, I don't need to hear the music anymore from NATO. I mean, this is a moment where I think we can say America is no longer a superpower at all. I mean, how can we be considered a superpower with that going on? How is it even possible? And you know what? It's not possible. It's not possible. Now, a couple weeks ago, I showed you guys some videos from Libs of TikTok.
And even you don't really know.
Okay, this is a beaut. Wait till you see this one, okay? This is insane, okay? Now, if you're not familiar with Libs of TikTok is a Twitter account, which I imagine will be on Truth Social. By the way, I'm still on the waiting list for Truth Social. Is there anyone who was on the Truth Social waiting list who has had your profile go active yet? When my profile goes active, I'll let you know what my name is there. But I want to wait until it goes active before I do that, okay? But Libs of TikTok is a conservative woman, has this account. And what she does, and she posts these videos on Twitter, and she is on Truth Social. If she's not on Truth Social, she will be soon. But I believe she tweeted that she's on Truth Social now. She goes through TikTok and finds things that liberals say and talk about on TikTok, and then she shares them on her Twitter. And I played one a couple weeks ago that just blew my mind. It was you'll remember this one. It was the guy who was upset. His son came home and he had learned the Pledge of Allegiance to the flag of the United States. Yeah, I know. Listen to this. This woman, I'm not sure what pronouns we're supposed to use. We'll find out when she speaks, but she very well could be the next head of NATO based on that video. Watch this.
If you're non-binary and you know it, clap your hands. If you're non-binary but you're actually gender fluid, but you don't want to explain to people that your pronouns change regularly because your gender is that freaking fluid, and you don't really care either way what pronouns people use, except for...
Okay, so you get that her gender changes throughout the day. Her gender changes by the minute, by the hour, by the quarter hour. It's changing all the time. So she's talking about if you're of a gender that is constantly changing throughout the day, how to tell people to address you with the proper pronouns.
If you're non-binary and you know it, clap your hands. If you're non-binary but you're actually gender fluid, but you don't want to explain to people that your pronouns change regularly because your gender is that freaking fluid, and you don't really care either way what pronouns people use, except for certain days where you feel super masc or super femme or super androgynous. But you also don't want to bother people with having them try to remember what pronouns you are for certain days, and even you don't really know most of the days, so you just sit there like, sure, whatever you want to reference me as. Clap your hands. If you're...
Wow. That speaks for itself. That does not require any commentary. Pretty scary. Pretty scary stuff, people. We are in a very strange place in this country. Yeah, I know. And, you know, a lot of what's going on right now with Russia and Ukraine is because of all of this. I mean, you know, Putin's looking at this, and he's looking at how weak we are. And I want to ask you guys, to let me know in the comments and in the chat room. I was talking about this a few minutes ago, and I really do want to hear what people think about this. If you're new here, by the way, make sure you subscribe. And everyone who's watching, please like the video. When you subscribe, like the video, and you click the notification bell, it tells the YouTube algorithm to recommend this video and my other content to other people that don't know about me yet, and it helps grow the channel. But this kind of weakness has made its way into our military as well. And Putin understands with a president that's this weak, a vice president that's this weak, and with this Libs of TikTok kind of tone that's going on in this country, between that and critical race theory, America will never be weaker. You know, the way politics work is a party's in power and they get very extreme, and then there's a backlash. And right now, the Democrats, the left, have gone too far. That's why we're doing so well in the midterms, and that's why President Trump's going to do even better in 2024 than he's ever done, because the Libs are too out of control. And people are pretty fed up with it, quite frankly. And they, liberals don't have boundaries. And what happens with liberals is, being without boundaries, whenever they're in a position of power, whenever they're in a position of control, they keep pushing, they get more and more extreme, and finally they push too far. And that's what it is. They have no concept of boundaries. All of us, if you're a conservative, we have boundaries just simply because, I open up the door for women if I'm at the store, right? I don't know the women. I open up the door. And sometimes women get nervous like I'm hitting on them, but I open up doors for ladies. Right? Do you guys do that? We have boundaries. We have rules. To this girl, if I open up the door for her, I'm genderizing her, and she'd be very upset. I mean, the country is so confused right now. And they're emboldened. They're empowered. And this is what's going on in our society. They brought Law and Order back, and I watched the first episode, and it's not that woke, but the jury had people on it. There was one person in the front row. One of these people, you don't know what gender they are, and that's what's going on in our society now. And, I remember when gay rights was being debated a lot in the 90s. A lot of conservatives said that, what's going to be next? What's going to be next? If we allow this in 10 years, in 20 years, what are they going to be pushing for next? And a lot of people talked about different things. They didn't talk about this, because the idea that there would be more than two genders had not been invented yet. And things have gotten wackier, more insane, and more out of control than even the most uber-conservative Christian leader that was advocating against gay rights ever imagined. Yes, this is live, William. I am live here with you. And I put the phone number there at the top of the chat. It is pinned at the top of the chat. If you'd like to call in live on the stream, you all can do that. The number is 561-453-0328. And just going to take a quick break before I get to the next story here. And I want to share with you, of course, Christine. You guys know Christine. She's in the chat all the time talking to me about her MyPillow towels. I love my MyPillow towels. Unlike other towels, the MyPillow towel absorbs. They're soft to the touch. They come with a 10-year warranty, a 60-day money-back guarantee. Mike Lindell says towels that actually work. What a concept. But don't just take my word for it. Christine from Pennsylvania called live on the radio and shared her experience with her MyPillow towels.
I was just going to say, I bought the MyPillow, my towels, a couple weeks ago, and they are fabulous. They are the best towels I've ever used. They're just the right amount of thickness. They're not too thin, they're not too thick, and they're a great length. They're like longer than your average towel, and they are fabulous, luxurious.
You know, what's amazing to me about the MyPillow towels, Mike Lindell's a genius with his inventions. It absorbs the water, and the towel's not soaking wet after.
Yes, exactly.
You know, other towels, the water just kind of lays on top of them. They don't absorb it, and you're just smothering water, smearing it around on your body. Now with the MyPillow towels. What color did you get?
I got the sage green.
Ooh,
but
yeah.
I'm going to order more because I love purple, and I'm going to have to get a purple.
Man, my wife's ordering the purple, too. She says it doesn't match our bathrooms, but she likes the purple anyway, so we're getting purple.
Who cares?
Exactly. Exactly. All right, Christine, thank you so much. The MyPillow towels are normally $109.99, but with our promo code at checkout, Kane, K-A-N-E, just $39.99. You can also order by phone, 1-800-716-4879. 1-800-716-4879, promo code Kane. Yeah, and these are the green. Let me step out of the way. Right there behind me. These are the ones that Christine has. The blue here is what I dried off with this morning. So with our promo code Kane, K-A-N-E, at checkout at MyPillow.com, just $39.99. And the MyPillow pet bed that my dog is sleeping on at my feet right now is 50% off with the promo code Kane as well. And the MyPillow slippers, which I'm wearing right now. I'm wearing my MyPillow slippers right now. Those are also 50% off when you use the promo code Kane at checkout, K-A-N-E. All right, now this is really got the liberals in a major meltdown situation. Look at this. Not seeing this covered too much in the news, are you? 8-mile-long People's Convoy raises more than $850,000 in donations, nearly doubling its fund in one day as it continues on an 11-day journey to D.C. to protest mandates, even though the United States is starting to roll them back. Well, starting is not the same as doing it, and I think a lot of people believe they're starting to roll back the mandates because of the truckers. So no, so what they're doing is definitely a good thing. The group was pictured traveling eastbound on I-40 in an 8-mile-long cavalcade on Friday near New Mexico. Their next stop will be Texas. That's right. Let me see. Are there any pictures here? Oh, my goodness. Look at this. Look at this. And this isn't even the start of it. This looks like where Forrest Gump was running. As far as the eye can see and then some. Wow. That is absolutely amazing. And here's the route that they're taking. All the way to D.C. Wow. That's amazing. Let me see if there's any others. Here we got another photograph. And some of them actually, they have their trailer with them too. Oh yeah, and look at this. They're being greeted by crowds all the way there. This is absolutely amazing. And this started because of Canada and Trudeau. And I think this is really starting because of the treatment that the truckers received, more than the actual issue itself of the mandate. I think it's more about the treatment of the truckers more than anything else in Canada by Trudeau. It seems to me to be a convoy about free speech, expression, the right to protest peacefully. I think that's more what it's about than the actual mandates. I know that's maybe not the official line, but that is most definitely what I think it's about more than anything else. I just want to review here for people that were not here at the top of the stream. And this is what I talked about this in detail at the top. So if you want to hear the whole story, go back to the beginning of the stream and you'll see this. But our Supreme Court nominee, Ketanji Brown Jackson, is closely related to Paul Ryan, who's been instrumental in bringing her up through the ranks over the years. Well, guys, I'm going to take off for today. Everyone have a great day, and make sure that you subscribe if you're new. Make sure you like the video, click the notification bell. And tonight, President Trump will be speaking at CPAC, and I know we'll all be watching that. And I'll be back tomorrow morning, guys. So click that notification bell. Make sure you're subscribed so you get the notification when I go live tomorrow morning. And tomorrow morning, of course, I'm sure what we'll be talking about is what President Trump says tonight. That'll be the main topic for tomorrow, on top of whatever other news that comes out between now and then. So thanks, everyone, for watching. Again, make sure you like,